Hi everyone, welcome to Poplar Ridge Farm. My name's John and we're here in the Hocking Hills region of Ohio, in southeastern Ohio, about halfway between Columbus and Athens, Ohio. And this is our small farm that we've started. I hesitated for a long time to call this a farm because I think people get a certain connotation and a vision in their mind of what a farm is. Some people think immediately of corn and soybeans and plowing the ground and planting seed, and other people think of cows and chickens and pigs and making hay every year. So definitely the term farm carries with it a certain connotation, and really my journey into calling this a farm was a slow progression for me. We started out in town as a family. Both of our boys were born, and when they were born, we lived in a house in town, and I planted my first garden on a patch of ground in our yard that was maybe 5 foot by 15 foot, so maybe 75 square feet, and we had zucchini and green beans and carrots and strawberries and herbs, and really that first introduction to a garden and getting into a lot of YouTube videos of raising your own food is what got me started on this progression. So originally we bought this property we sit on today with my mindset of thinking I wanted to grow our own food and kind of have that homestead mentality or mindset, but it seems like my learning and my mind changes over time the more and more I learn, and I've gotten really interested in bringing other people along in this journey. Homesteading is really I guess you'd call it a self-sufficiency, a self-dependent lifestyle, and I'm realizing more and more that we're created to have community. We need community. We need to be sharing ideas and food and progress with other people because I can't do it all by myself. So we were created to live in community, and that's something that's really shaped how I'm approaching this idea of no longer being a homesteader per se, but more of running a small farm. Who is Poplar Ridge? I think that's a great question. When I set out to start this channel just a few short months ago, I was still in the mindset this was going to be a homesteading channel. In fact, I shot my opening clip saying, "Welcome to Poplar Ridge Homestead." And as soon as I uttered the words, I knew it didn't feel right or sound right, so I actually just said, "Welcome to Poplar Ridge," and edited it and changed it. And that's kind of how I've opened every video since then, because I wasn't quite sure who I am yet. I'm leaning more and more into calling this a farm. I think that the term farm carries with it certain connotations, so I've hesitated to use that term, but I've been using it more and more because that's more what I feel that it is, because to me a homestead is about self-sufficiency and a self-dependent lifestyle, and I think that we were created to have community, and to me farm carries with it the idea of community, which I think is very important. I personally, Poplar Ridge, if you want to call me that, I guess, am a father and a husband and a friend and a son and a Christ follower, but I'm a lifelong learner. I've always loved learning, and I've always loved animals, and in a small farm those two things kind of come together, and I've seen that passion sort of well up in me over the past couple of years of learning about the health of our land and our soil and our animals and the job they can do restoring that health for us. And it's becoming more and more exciting as it becomes more real, and as my wife tolerates crazier and crazier ideas, I keep inching closer to I guess what you would call a small farm. Maybe I'm there already, I'm not sure, and we'll just have to see where this ends up. What am I trying to accomplish here? I think, well, number one is a lot of learning. I want to learn and grow, but I think the end goal is health. I want healthy relationships for me and my wife and my kids. I want healthy food, and I want healthy community. And I think all those things can be better accomplished where I am here on this farm today than they could have been when I lived in town. I think that the reason is because I'm getting my hands dirty and I'm producing something, and I'm a bigger part of community by producing something than I am just going to my regular job, which I still have and I still enjoy, but this is becoming more and more of a passion of mine that I really love. I get asked a lot, who is Poplar Ridge, or what is Poplar Ridge Farm? And I'm not sure I have a real good answer for that yet. I think that it's going to be something that changes over time for us as we grow and learn, as we introduce new animals, as we grow more food. But I know that one thing I'm trying to accomplish here is to restore this piece of ground to be something great. This is something the Lord's blessed us with, and when we got here it was kind of a mess. The tree lines are all completely closed in with brush and multiflora rows, and the pastures were overgrown, and it's taken a lot of work to get to where we are today, but I'm a person who loves to restore things. I like to bring things back to life. I like to restore old tools. I like to work on old cars. I think that's something God does for us, is He restores us to our rightful place and to our, to be who we were created to be. And we can't do that on our own. And just like this piece of land can't be all that it can be without the proper management and maintenance of it. And so we've come a long way. We spent the first several years kind of restoring the house. We still have some things to do in there, of course, any house would, but it's come a long way. And now we're starting to shift our focus outside to focus on the grounds and the land and the pastures. And a big part of that's going to be introducing the right animals to help do the work for us. That's going to be probably pigs and sheep and cows and chickens. So right now we've dipped our toe in the water. And actually I kind of made a joke the other day that we went in 2020 to dip our toe in the water with some chickens, and I kind of fell into a black hole. So that dipping my toe in the water to get chickens for the homestead has kind of led to me wanting to sell eggs and sell chickens and raise meat chickens. It's led to a cooperation and a partnership with another small farmer known as Pasture who's become a good friend of mine, and I would encourage you to check him out on YouTube and Facebook. I'll leave a link in the description below. But Stephen at Pasture has, I think we're kind of bad for each other. We're kind of farm junkies, and we share a lot of information with one another and sort of prod each other along to take the next step that maybe we're a little fearful of getting into. So Stephen, if you're watching, thanks, but also I know you know we're bad for each other in some ways. So, how did I get to this point? I think it was just getting started with wanting to raise my own food. I realized that the food I'm picking up off the shelf at the grocery store is not carrying the nutrients and the health that we thought it was. For years and years, agriculture has, especially big industrial agriculture, has been mining our soil, and they've been robbing it of nutrients and only putting back a very small amount of nutrients with chemical fertilizers and other inputs. You can see the difference in the soil from someone who's practicing regenerative agriculture with animals compared to an industrial farmer. When you compare the soil in your hands, you can see the difference. Soil is a living, breathing organism for the earth. It's like our skin. Our skin is our largest organ on our body, and the soil is like an organ for the earth. It's where we get our nutrients. It's the barrier between us and what's being grown. It's what's providing the nutrition into the food that you're eating. So the animals that you eat and the vegetables that you eat get their health from the soil, not from the plant they're eating, but from the soil. And that plant that they are eating gets its health from the soil. So I'm really becoming more and more into the health of the soil, and this property in particular needs a lot of help with that. So it's going to be quite the journey for us to be on here in the future.